So just to review this chart, which you should have read through during Friday's lesson, we understand not everyone would be able to print it, but if you were able to print it, that would be best. If not, hopefully you at least read it over and potentially even saved it to your device. So just looking at these first two symbols, the less than symbol, where I see the pointy side is all the way to the left, and the greater than symbol, where the open mouth is all the way to the left. These keywords seem to be a bit easier for you guys. Obviously, less than would work here. Under, below, shorter than, smaller than, fewer than, lower than, or beneath would all potentially be words you could see to represent a less than symbol. If I'm looking at greater than, I might see more than, above, over, greater than, larger than, exceeds. The word exceeds would mean to go above, increased, longer than, or higher than. This symbol, the less than or equal to, as well as the greater than or equal to, seem to be where we're running into the most trouble when we have this double line saying that the number is smaller than or the same as a given number, or greater than or the same as a given number. And I think what's becoming confusing is that you see a word like most or maximum or no more than, and we're hearing these words, so we're thinking greater than. But we need to think in the real life situation. So in a real life situation, if I was taking a test and I could at most earn a 100%, what does that mean? If the highest, the highest grade is 100. That means at most I could get a 100%. So could I get a 100%? Yes, that would be my highest grade. At most I could get a 100%. Could I get a 95, a 90, an 85, an 80? Yes, I could get any of those grades because they're under 100%. But if at most I could earn a 100%, is it possible I get 105 or 110? No, because now I've gone beyond that 100% mark, and we already said at most I could get is 100%. Same thing with maximum. If the maximum number of people allowed in a room is 100, then you could have one person, two people, three people, four, all the way up to 100. But once you hit that maximum, you're not allowed to put 101 people, 102 people, 103 people. And the same thing for is no more than. So if it's no more than it, it could be equal to it, because if you're equal, you're not more, you're not less, you're equal. Or it could be less than it, but it is no more than it. And then the same thing here with the greater than or equal to, when I see words like least and minimum and no less than, I see these phrases and I start to think of a less than symbol. But the reality is that when we are using them in an inequality, if I need at least $25 to buy a new shirt, then I could have exactly $25 if that's what it costs. They'll sell it to me. Or I could have more than $25 and they will give me change back. But I couldn't go into the store with $20 and say, okay, please give me that $25 shirt. If I need a minimum of an 80% on my report card in order to not go to summer school, then if I get an 80%, I would be able to skip summer school and move on to the 7th grade. If I get higher than an 80%, I would be good, but I can't get less than it. And then the same thing for is no less than. It's saying the value could not be less than the other values.